Hi there, I'm Neil DeFranco with the Larry DeFranco team at Elefant Wisik and Realtors, serving the greater Philadelphia area. Hopefully we all know that social media and video platforms monetize our clicks for attention. Basically, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product. And look, I get it. I use these platforms too. They're powerful tools. I'm using one right now to get in front of you. But there's another industry doing something similar that most people never even think about or notice. And that's the third-party real estate aggregators. All right, now the inspiration for this came from a podcast I listened to called Lever Time. I was listening to the segment called The Zillow and Redfin Convenience Trap, and it really got me thinking about how these platforms work behind the scenes. All right, now let's talk about real estate's attention economy. This is about third-party portals, such as Zillow, Redfin, and others. The listings that these sites use originate from the multiple listing service. This is data entered by licensed real estate agents and their brokerages. These platforms aggregate that data to attract consumers and monetize their attention. It's basically a revenue model that equals advertising plus selling paid connections to real estate agents. To be fair, a lot of these third-party aggregators, like Zillow and Redfin, are licensed brokerages in many states. Their licensing allows them to run certain programs, but the bulk of their business model is built on technology, advertising, and data, not day-to-day representation. So yes, they're licensed, but their main profit center is selling visibility, leads, and ad placement, which isn't subject to the same consumer protection rules that apply to agent-client relationships. We're also seeing another kind of brokerage emerge these days, built more like a tech startup or private equity investment than your neighborhood brokerage. These firms raise huge amounts of venture capital, focus on market share growth, and measure success by valuation rather than local service volume. They're still licensed, but their mission is scaling the platform for investors, not necessarily tailoring the fiduciary service for individual clients. Now, there's certainly nothing wrong with that model. It just serves a different master, and consumers deserve to know which kind of company they're engaging with. This part's important. I want to talk about the easy button illusion. That contact agent button looks convenient, but it's often a paid placement. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you get connected to whoever just bought that zip code. It's more like rolling the dice than choosing representation. And I don't think that representation in buying real estate should be something that you gamble with. A method that most of our clients use and that I highly recommend is to ask friends, family, and neighbors who've had great experiences. Real estate recommendations will beat an algorithm every time. Have you heard of automated valuations? They're super simple, they're quick, they're easy, they're a trap. Those instant online valuations can be fun to check, but they're not appraisals, they're not market analyses. These algorithms can't see condition, upgrades, or block-by-block desirability. Do you remember hearing about Zillow's iBuyer program called Zillow Offers? Not only was it competing with buyers for limited inventory, it had to shut down after major losses due to pricing errors. If an algorithm builder got burned, it's probably not the right tool for your life's biggest financial decisions. When it comes to pricing your home or figuring out the appropriate price for a home you're buying, talk to a professional who studies your market daily. A professional is a much safer way to invest in your future than using an algorithm. Scrolling through listings online feels like being in the market, but it's really just window shopping. You become an active participant when you connect with an agent who guides you through the financing, the strategy, and the negotiation of buying and selling a home. This is when curiosity turns into clarity, and you become a real participant in the real estate market. These sites and apps are amazing tools when you know what they're designed to do, and that's capture your attention, not necessarily protect your interests. Use them for browsing. When you're serious, work with someone who represents you and your interests. Don't be the product. Be a participant in your real estate journey. Get yourself connected with a trusted real estate representative whose interests are aligned with yours and not just a payday. I'm Neil DeFranco with the Larry DeFranco team at Elefant Wisik and Realtors. And if you need help with real estate in the greater Philadelphia area, we're here to help you.